Tuesday, and I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina. And I'm sexy, confident.
Oh
my God.
No.
You know
so
what it sounds
intelligent.
So this new Katy Perry song, it like, I'm trying to figure it out because it sounds like a lot of things. We're discussing it. We're like, does it sound like a tampon commercial? Yes. It also kind of sounds like a song that they would teach you in preschool, or like it would play on Sesame Street.
It sounds like kids pop.
You know? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad, Katy.
It's bad. It's not
you
good.
Didn't need to do this to us.
It's not the time. We're not. I've said this. I said this before we recorded. Now isn't the time. This isn't the summer anthem. I'm still back on that labor song. And Keegan, you always remember her name.
Paris Paloma. Yeah, you know,
Listen.
it's like, it feels very corporate feminism, what she's doing.
Yes.
You know, where it's just like, we're just gonna pander to the ladies because we know they're having a hard time right now. So let's remind them that they're sexy, confident. And I'm
fun.
like, that's not. And you're right. It's a tampon commercial. Like that is exactly what it is.
To be fair, I think we need to acknowledge that Barbie was the last thing that we could accept at this point of that genre.
Of that ilk. Yes. Yeah.
Of that ilk. Like literally that was the end of an era for me. Like I can accept Barbie for what it was. It was great. It was fine. But I'm done.
I think Barbie wasn't like a pander or being like, hey, girl boss or anything like that. I think it was a real exploration of the complexity of femininity. I really do. And how she like wanted to feel feelings and you know, I think it rejected that whole corporate girl bossy stuff.
I think it's, you know, Barbie's a tricky one because if anyone other than Greta Gerwig had done it, I think it would be a very different conversation because you can't get away from corporate feminism with Barbie because it's capitalism. You can't get away, you know, it's a movie made by Mattel in part, you know, so, but I do think they challenged that as much as they could within the confines of Barbie, you know?
Right.
And I did, I miss Barbie summer. Wow.
Simpler times, kinder times. Dude,
we are in a burn it down.
It's a different
place.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different summer.
My summer anthem is actually not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. I'm leaning into my hate era.
That's right.
I'm not hating hard enough. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. Getting into the hateration.
Yes.
In the club. I got it.
I love it. Love it.
Hateration.
The pettiness he had to do to play that song like 6 times in a row with like every single rapper in the West Coast, like, and like multiple gang members.
Who do you think J. Cole is praying to? That's like, oh, thank God, bullet missed me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, what entity is he at right now?
Because he's like, could have been me. Thank God.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Thank God. Yeah.
But Drake he took it too far. It's like, bro, you could have safely moonwalked out of this situation, crab walked out, you know, early on, but you like double, triple, quadruple down. With someone like Kendrick, who I think we did his, because we Fuck, Marry, Killed him a while back, and I think he is a Gemini, and I'm he's not letting this rest.
No,
ever.
Never.
He'll go to his grave with this.
Yeah, never.
they'll play BBL Drizzy
the day
at
after
his funeral. Okay,
exactly. It's going to be a brand new hit. And Drake, alive or dead, it's going to come for him again.
Oh man, so good.
He'll never escape it.
That's my summer.
Oh, I love it. Now I'm having a Chapel Roan summer for sure, I think.
There you go.
Golly. Well, I have something to talk about. And Cassie, you might have heard about this because they did talk about it on Daily Zeitgeist. So I don't know if you're caught up on that or not, but
I'm not.
Good. So that we can talk about this.
Okay.
Did you hear about the man who is suing Apple because his wife found out he cheated?
No, I did not. But also, like, who on the design or tech team at Apple is trying so hard to get away with cheating on their spouse? because all the latest updates, like that hidden apps thing, I'm like,
I don't even know what
why
that
would you
is.
need to use it? So the latest update for Apple has all these features, right? And one of them is that you can hide apps on your phone. And I'm like, what is a legitimate reason you would need to do that?
I guess
The only thing I can think of is that you're hiding dating apps.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be the most obvious reason. The only other thing that and this is really a stretch, this is me giving the biggest benefit of the doubt, would be like if you are letting your kids use your phone or something, and there are certain apps you don't want them to accidentally access or whatever.
Yeah.
You might want to hide them. You might want to put them somewhere where they couldn't get to them. But that's the only, I mean, that's not a big enough reason for Apple to make an update.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That sounds like they're getting sued by someone.
Well, so this guy, he has been cheating on his wife for years. Cheating on her for years, mostly from this article that I'm reading, mostly with sex workers, it seems like. But he would use his phone to text sex workers, to set up dates, to communicate with other women. And this has been going on for years. Gross. But he would always delete the messages, right? He deleted the messages from his phone. However, his family shares an iMac computer.
Well, and you're an idiot.
You fucking moron.
I mean, this is how like
fucking
they
dumb.
all get caught is because it comes up in the car or on the family iPad or all of that stuff. There's countless examples.
dumb.
You're just dumb.
You're dumb.
You're just stupid.
Because when you delete it from your phone, it stays in the like iCloud unless you have your settings set to not do that.
Right.
So his wife opened up iMessage on the family's iMac that they share and found all the text messages. So it's years worth of messages. And so shortly after she found this out, she filed for divorce. She's like, goodbye. So now this husband is suing Apple for £5 million in damages for the cost of legal fees, money lost in the divorce, and emotional damage.
I'm damaged listening to this. So wait, you're gonna sue a company because you don't understand or know how to work their product? You're an idiot. You're a whole idiot.
Well, his lawyers are saying that you have a reasonable expectation that whenever you are told a message is deleted, that it is actually, you are entitled to believe that it has been deleted. And that he was never informed. But I'm like, you know what? You do. It was in the terms of service. I get it. None of us read that. We all just scroll to the end and click accept. But that's on us.
But once again, a you problem.
At the end of the day, that's on us. You better bet Apple has covered their ass. Okay.
Yeah. How is this even like making it to? I mean, he must have just filed. It's gonna get thrown out. It's got to be thrown out. It's the most frivolous of
so stupid.
All you're doing is incurring more legal fees.
Yeah.
Like to try and like take Apple to court. But he has said, his emotional distress, he has been put on beta blockers to reduce the panic attacks that he's been experiencing due to his own infidelity in the end of his marriage.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, there were solutions.
She is better off.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's not just the cheating, but the lack of accountability there tells me that bled into other areas of their relationship. For sure. Yeah.
This child man is full of red flags, and the cheating is only one small red flag of them.
It's giving, and I realize this word is being overused lately, but it really is giving like malignant narcissist.
Yes.
Because for you to come out and act like you're the victim in this situation, because he released a statement talking about how difficult this has been on him emotionally. And he said, I genuinely thought I was going to have a heart attack. Divorce is an extraordinarily stressful process. And you have children and family dynamics. In my opinion, it's all because Apple told me my messages were deleted when they weren't. It's all because...
It's not because I sought out cheating on my wife
Couldn't be my own actions.
multiple interactions with. Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah,
man.
So yes, I hope she's marked safe from this man. I hope she's escaped this situation because he was probably awful in a lot of other.
Oh my God, it's giving Nicole Kidman exiting.
Oh yes, 100%. Being so happy to get out of that relationship. Goodbye.
I feel free, freedom. Yes. Oh my God.
Cassie, don't give us that look. You know he's terrible. Okay. You might love him, but you got to admit, both his ex-wives have been like, oh, thank God.
Dude, fucking, what's her face had to like plan it with her dad surreptitiously to get out of it. That's not normal.
Scary.
Well, that to me is all very that cult.
Yeah.
It's cultish. It's that cult. And listen, where is Miscavige?
We'll never know. We're never gonna know. This has been going on for like 10 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
I got questions is all.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's scary.
We all do. Yeah. Oof.
Anyway,
Glad we went down that track.
Before anybody comes after us, if I see an unmarked vehicle outside of my apartment,
Yeah. They ain't coming on my dirt roads. So
you're right. They're like,
I have a feeling.
They're like, that's too much work. Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm okay. I'm okay in Germany. I feel like we're pretty safe here.
There got to be Scientologists in Germany.
Well, now I need to know.
They have Sea Orgs. They're everywhere.
Yes. Truly. Ugh.
Anyway, I am going to stop talking about them now because
Yeah, we've already poked the bear with talking about J-Lo. Now
I feel like we flew under the radar with J-Lo because she's got a lot she's dealing with right now. She's like, I got bigger fish to fry. You know, if we'd caught her a few months previous, she'd be like, I got time.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah. I don't know. She canceled her tour. I feel like she's got time.
Maybe.
Well, moving's a bitch. So as you know, so
should we? Oh my God. Don't I know? Oof. I need to talk about something that is not talked about enough. And that is how fucking light it stays for so long.
I was going to ask you about that. Cause I'm like, dude, it's fucking 9 p.m. late.
Yeah. It looks sunny there still. That's bizarre.
It is. It's 9 p.m. It won't get like fully dark, I don't think, until like almost like 10:30.
Wow.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa, what in the Alaska time zone am I in? Like, it's wild. I did not expect this.
Christina, you were going to tell us about the Haktua girl.
Oh, yes.
What the hell is that?
Okay. All right.
Let me pull this entirely.
Pull it up. This is
she showed it to me and I have opinions.
Yeah. I think I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this. So let me search it.
Okay.
And then I'll play it for you.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing.
So the question posed to a girl on the street is, what's that one move in bed? And she goes, well,
that makes a man go crazy.
That makes a man go crazy. And she goes, oh, you got to give it that hawk to spin on that thing.
I had follow-up questions and I asked Christina, I was like, what was the consensus in the comments? Are men really like, yeah, that's the move. That's so sexy. And she said, yes.
Yes.
Wait.
She is being like hailed as like protect her at all costs. This woman is an angel of fucking
Look, I can see needing to keep it moist.
Yeah. No.
I had to take my earplugs out. I don't even know what you said.
No one wants
to keep it a little like juicy down there, right? But you cannot. That is phlegm. When you go that far back in the throat,
yeah,
you can't. That is gross.
Yeah, Cassie is exiting the conversation. She's like, my earpods are out.
And I don't want it back in my mouth. I'll tell you that fucking much.
Exactly.
You.
That is why is that better than regular spit?
I think the hawk tua comes from. I think that's very, very porn behavior.
Do they do that in porn?
Oh yeah, dude. Messy blowjobs. I think that's like a search that you can do. Like, listen, it's not me. I live blowjobs. I don't need to watch videos about it. Like, I'm like, no, it ain't for me. It's like
it being messy is fine. I have no problem with it being messy. Like, I think that's fine. In fact, TikTok kept trying to sell me these mints that I guess are specifically for people who can't they can't produce enough saliva. So they're like, these are good blowjob mints because they make your mouth
they're algorithm. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I have a few questions here.
I don't know
what's going on with your algorithm?
I'll be honest. I don't know how I got here in my life. We all know. Okay, we all know I'm the least free with your mouth.
Exactly.
So I don't know why we got here.
Maybe that's why they were like, here, maybe this will.
They're like, is it because your mouth is dry? Because here's the solution.
Try this.
So that I understand though. Honestly, like, to me, I'm just like, nobody wants a dry blowjob. Nobody wants a dry mouth.
True.
Yeah. But
true.
But it ain't
a hawk Louie.
It's the phlegm that I'm like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Right?
I am probably the most free with my mouth. I am. I've done BOGO sales before with my mouth, so
okay. Yeah.
And I have not done that. I have not. And so it's made me consider my game. Now I have asked.
I'm sorry, what? It made you consider it?
It made me consider it? No, I'm not. And because I asked my partner, I was like, is this a thing? He's like, no, please don't do that to me or whatever. So I'm just like,
to me
specifically.
Please don't do that to me.
Just to him.
So yeah, I mean, I guess ask your partner, because there are enough dudes on the TikTok that are like, fuck yeah, like. But I gotta think that maybe it's because they've seen it in porn and think that it's really cool, but haven't experienced it in real life. I don't know. What do you guys think? It just
reminds me of that scene in Titanic, where he's like, I'm gonna teach you to spit like a man, right? And he hawks
I
a
was
loogie
like,
over
I don't
the
know
side.
if I've seen this Titanic.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
the director's cut
when you have to do the like get it all the way back in your throat.
Oh God!
As someone who is currently still fighting bronchitis,
oh my God,
you make very phlegmy right now. It is not sexy. It is not a sexy time. Okay?
No, you're gonna make that dick look like Slimer from Ghostbusters.
I'm. Why is it colors? Oh. All right,
sorry.
we broke Cassie.
I'm sorry, Cassie. Yeah, Cassie. I'm like, I'm not sure she's frozen or like from the. All right, yeah, we'll move on before we permanently break Cassie.
I would like to consult an attorney.
Yeah, you can get the same one that's representing that fucking dude that's suing Apple. Oh shit. Well, on that case, who are we gonna fuck, marry, kill this week?
I don't even know how we're gonna transition. I mean that.
Yeah, that broke everything, I think.
Whew. Wow.
Wowie. Woo woo.
Okay.
You got one, Cass?
There is no transition out of it.
I did, but I was gonna say, like, who do we think would have like,
oh no,
strange proclivities in
I think
in the
a
sack?
lot. I think a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think everybody's a freak. Okay.
Yes,
I think everybody is a freak. I think everybody
in your own way
has freaky, kinky shit that they like.
Yeah.
And because there's so many things to like that I'm like,
it's true.
Everybody's got their thing.
That's why that song is so like, I love that song so much. Is somebody gonna match my freak?
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's just like, you just got to find somebody with a compatible freak flag, right? So, I definitely think that there are like overt freaks, like people who definitely like you can see them and you're like, oh, you get down, and I can tell. And then I think that there are more like covert
secret
freaks.
freak.
They walk
like, you know what?
amongst
You know
us.
who? You know who I think is a bit of a covert freak?
Yeah, tell me about
and
sneaky freak.
we've done her before, but Martha Stewart.
Oh, 1,000.
Cassie almost choked.
I almost spit my fucking drink.
But
everywhere.
for sure, right?
I was
Like that woman.
Not expecting that.
She's a covert freak. Lady
Yeah.
on the street, freak in the bed.
Yep.
Freaking the sheets.
I completely agree. I'm trying to think of somebody that's like overt about it. And then there are people who like you think would be, and you're like, oh, wow. I'm surprised that they're not. Like I thought Megan Fox would be more of one, but she seems like not too.
Well, but her and I almost said gunmetal.
Machine gun Kelly.
Kelly. Get gunmetal Kelly. What in the granny is happening to my brain right now?
Well, you know,
it's because you broke me earlier. That's what's
we
up.
did. You're putting yourself back together piece by piece.
Truly.
I think
Truly.
with Megan Fox, I think there's a thing about like if you are too beautiful too early in your life,
Ooh.
you don't you don't need to get
You don't have
freaky.
to learn freaky shit. You ain't got to learn that freaky
No.
shit.
You can
just
pillow
gotta be
princess
pretty.
all day and they'll say thank you.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Yeah, when you're you know mid love, you gotta learn freaky freaks.
Yeah, you gotta learn the Hawk Tua.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, that's too much. I can't. I like the sneaky link. I like the sneaky link or sneaky freak
Sneaky freak.
path. I like the sneaky freak path that we're
Okay.
going on. Who else do I think it might be a sneaky freak?
I'm seeing who the Google machine thinks is a sneaky freak. Sneaky freak celeb.
Perfect.
Yeah. You want it? You got it.
I guess there is a list. Who knew?
Who knew? 9 celebrity women who are undercover freaks? What? Okay. All right.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
That's who I would bet. I have a sneak freak.
Well, you know, maybe.
Rihanna.
That's not
Yep.
covert.
That's not sneaky.
Yeah.
She wrote a whole song about it.
Erykah Badu, also not sneaky.
Both Pisces, by the way.
Katy Perry.
Do we think?
Katy
Do we
Perry.
think she's freaky?
Have you seen?
I bet she is.
She was married to Russell Brand, and now she's married to fucking.
You're right. You're
Orlando?
right. Take it back.
I
You're
see it.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, if she's freaky, make freakier music, bitch. Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've listened to some, like, yeah. I'm going with Katy Perry.
Okay, we got Katy Perry. We've got Martha Stewart, who can round out our threesome here. I feel like there are some straight-laced men out there who are freaky.
I know. I was going Trent Reznor, but he's not straight laced at all. He feels like an overt.
Yeah.
I bet that Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. I bet he is, but that's not sneaky.
He doesn't seem sneaky about it. It's line cook. I mean,
Yeah.
you know they're good in bed.
What about Colin Jost? How do we think he is in bed?
I think about that question often. I would say. I think about him and his co-host Michael Che. What a sandwich!
Damn.
Michael Che, I think, is
Goddamn.
freaky. I think Michael Che gets
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. I don't think that Colin Jost does. But what's the guy who used to be on there now has his own Tonight Show?
Seth Meyers?
Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Oh, Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
Meyers. Oh.
He doesn't
Okay.
seem freaky to me, but I would be happy to be
Sneaky.
surprised. I would be happy to
love
be
to have a
surprised.
sneak-
I would love
No.
to be surprised.
I actually think he might be, because have you seen those like clips when he day drinks with? I think he's got a little.
Okay. All right.
I'm
All
in.
right.
A little
I'm willing
freak
to
in the-
go
all
on
right.
this journey. I'm willing to go on this journey. So this is a strange trio we have going on here.
Truly
Katy Perry, Martha Stewart, and Seth Meyers.
Dude, Martha Stewart's been in the
Perry?
clink. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
All right. I got to know their signs.
Yeah. We have done, I think we may have done, I know we've done Martha Stewart before. I think we may have done Seth Meyers before. I'm pretty sure we have. And I know that
Martha Stewart is August 3rd. I think that's Virgo, right?
August 3rd's Leo.
Or is that Leo?
Leo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Katy Perry's
That
a
makes
Scorpio.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
It's all lining up.
Yep. It sure is.
December 28th. So Sagittarius, Seth Meyers.
No, he's a
Nope,
Cap.
Capricorn.
Oh, Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Right.
Okay, so we've got we've got a Capricorn, a Scorpio, and a Leo. Wow.
I know what I'm doing.
I know what I do.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm going to marry Martha Stewart.
It seems like a good choice.
I'm going to marry Martha Stewart. She is somebody who A, can have her shit together, but B, also messy. And that will make me feel a little bit, I won't feel like so much pressure because obviously it's Martha Stewart, right? Like everything's got to be perfect. But I'm like, this bitch has been in jail. So.
Well, she's also got the money to, you have help. Like your house is going to be immaculate in part because she's got people to keep it that way for sure. And, what she is like, she's very meticulous, very clean, perfectionist kind of vibes, but she's messy socially. Like she's going to give you all the hot goss about everybody.
Yes.
And she knows
so
everybody.
Yeah. Oh,
I want to get Martha Stewart a little drunk at a dinner party.
Just a couple glasses of red
and I'll be hanging out on the fucking, probably a beautiful back deck area. It's just me, Martha, Snoop. Just fucking
like a wraparound porch for sure.
You feel like
on
Tiffany
the water.
Haddish might show up.
You never know who's going to show up with Martha Stewart is the thing.
Yeah.
She welcomes everybody, and I appreciate that about her.
I really like it.
She was also trying to poach. Remember when she was trying to poach her her friends' husbands? I love that. And she's like, I'm just waiting for them to die so that I can
listen. God damn.
God, I love that.
Can you
woman.
imagine
She's
you're her
so
friend
funny.
and you're like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
What?
Mine?
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. That's the thing. Is she's like legitimately funny too. Like dry, wry sense of humor. I think it'd be fun. Then I'm going to fuck Seth Meyers. I actually think that Katy Perry would probably be better in bed.
I kind of think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta know. There are times where he's got that little smirk on his face that does a little something for me. So
God damn,
I do
the
love
more I think about it. The more hot it becomes.
It's hard because it's like for me, I think to me Seth Meyers is the hottest of these three. Like the one that I think is but I think I'm also gonna marry Martha Stewart. That's what I did last time. I think when we had Martha Stewart, and I stand by it. I was trying to decide probably marrying Seth Meyers is a safer bet.
Yeah,
but I think a little less fun. And because I'm going to get day drunk on the porch with Martha. That's what's going to happen, and it's going to be fun. And
I don't know. It sounds like Seth gets day drunk too. So.
Yeah, sure.
He's open to it.
Yeah,
he's open to it. But I'm going to fuck Katy Perry. She's a Scorpio. She's a weirdo. Her self-awareness is kind of low, which means that I think she is low. I think her inhibitions are probably pretty low too.
Yep.
I think that that's going to be a wild, weird, fun time.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think you're spot on.
Yeah, I'm going to marry Seth.
Yeah.
It's smart.
It's
a smart choice.
He's a city guy. I like this vibe. Martha,
Capricorn,
I love,
like
but
Chris.
I feel like it feels so waspy to me. I don't want to live in Cape Cod or whatever.
And an Aries and a Leo too. Like, that's a little.
It's not meant to be.
Dangerous.
No, I'm willing to give Martha more attention.
It's risky.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm
too.
not even
I don't care. Yeah.
averse to attention, but I'm willing to give Martha more because I know she needs it more, and I sense that about her.
Yeah.
But an Aries and a Leo together,
I ain't got no time for that.
No.
But I am. It's tough because I'm gonna fuck Katy Perry. That is
gotta know, kind of, right? Like
that's gonna be
Wild.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know if I'm gonna want to talk about it after.
I keep picturing like circus colors. Like I think we're gonna fuck under a circus tent. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be something crazy.
Do you think
like
she
that.
still has the left shark costume?
Yeah, I bet she. I bet she does weird stuff like that.
We're gonna definitely be dressed up. It's gonna be a costume.
Oh yeah,
there's gonna be
100. I want to play in her closet. I will say that.
Hey,
I would
man.
love to play around in there. I think there's latex involved. She seems like she would have a riding crop. You know,
Yeah.
like
1000%. She has played Lord of the Rings with Orlando.
oh, definitely. And he seems like the type who would humor her with that. I feel like he'd do it.
And somebody gonna match my freak. Oh God. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
That sounds good.
And we're back. Okay, I have the Tainted Love this week, so I'm going to start us off. This I got from some website that's based in the UK. So for
location. Yeah. Okay, great.
Setting the scene. And she starts off by saying, I'm from Yorkshire, which was stated in my online dating profile at the time and was living in London. I met a guy from Essex, and listen, I will say this. I went down a TikTok somehow. Don't ask me questions about my For You page, but somehow got on different accents. Like some guy on the street in London was asking different people in London, like, what's your favorite accent? What's your least favorite accent? And for being such a tiny country, they have a lot of very distinct accents. And so then I went down the rabbit hole of what's a Yorkshire accent? What's a Geordie accent? What's an Essex accent? Trying to figure this out. Okay.
Isn't Essex like their Jersey Shore?
You know,
I feel like
I think it's a similar. Yeah, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
I remember watching that. It was like Yorkshire, where the Beatles were from. Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Geordie were the 3 that people said were their least favorite. But those all seemed very welcoming to me. I don't know. I liked it. I like a northern accent. Anyway. So she's from Yorkshire, living in London. I met a guy from Essex, messaged for a while before meeting, and I thought learned about each other. But he obviously didn't remember anything I told him about myself. We met at a pub before dinner. I ordered a pint of cider, and the first thing he said was, in a disgusted tone, "Oh, wow, I've never met a woman who drinks pints." I am 5'1" and a size 6, so maybe he's surprised. But then he asked if I would like a cocktail instead, as it was more ladylike.
Ew. I want what I want.
I want you to mind your business.
I want what I want.
I
should
ordered
have
what I
left
wanted.
then and there. He then proceeded to talk about how awful Northern, particularly Yorkshire accents are, and how it makes people sound really stupid and uneducated.
Dude, that's the same kind of shit that people pull on people from the South here, and it's ridiculous.
It is. It is the worst accent to him, and it turns him off entirely. Won't even consider dating someone from Yorkshire. I did, at this point, say how I was Northern, but he kind of batted it off, saying something like, "Your accent isn't that bad."
Thanks.
Oh, well, thank God you think so.
Yeah.
FYI, I wasn't exactly turned on by his accent, but would never disregard someone based on an accent, as it has nothing to do with who the person actually is. He then went into another lecture about culture and how many immigrants and asylum seekers there are in the UK, and how it needs to be better controlled as we're losing our British identity.
Oh.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
Here we go.
Coming in bold and hot.
Dude, that whole what the I want the whole world to be different shades.
Yep.
I agree.
And this whole thing, of course, we deal with it personally here in America, this whole like Christian nationalism thing, but it's weird to think about. It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Everyone's
I saw
so
something-
worried about being replaced. And it's like, we all
There's
will be
enough for
eventually. We all die.
Everybody,
Who cares?
first of all,
Jesus.
there's enough for everybody, and cultures evolve. If there are particular things about your culture, traditions that you want to hold on to, you can hold on to those.
Yeah. Yeah.
in your family,
As long as they don't harm others.
Right.
Right. I'm talking cultural traditions. I'm not talking bigotry and racism.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Difference. There's a
They're
difference.
not the same thing. It needs to be better controlled as we're losing our British identity. I stated the opposite, that I love the mix of cultures in Britain, which is what I think makes us who we are, and that my granddad wouldn't be alive today if he had not been allowed to seek asylum from Yemen when he was a child, when all of his family was killed by the Taliban. He then looked at me and said, yes, I thought you weren't full British. You do look a bit foreign.
Wow.
Icky.
Wow. Okay.
This is all before they
didn't
got
have
to
a
the This
fucking
is all
clue.
at drinks.
Yeah.
All
no,
at drinks.
No,
And
we're
that's
done.
where it
We're
ends.
Then on to the restaurant. He asked me if I was ordering a salad. Big fat no. I am also a vegetarian and got a 15-minute lecture at this point about how unhealthy I must be without eating meat, as we need meat to survive as humans, and that one day I'll get seriously ill. Been veggie 20 years and haven't dropped dead yet.
I love how this guy's a doctor
Wow.
or a
He's
nutritionist.
an expert at everything.
Yeah.
Everything, clearly.
Jesus.
I order a pasta dish and incidentally use my knife and fork in the correct hands, always have, always will, and he stops, slams down his cutlery, and with a horrified look on his face says, "You can't eat like that here. It's a nice place. You're eating like an animal."
I'm sorry. What?
Dude,
By this
I do
point-
not use my knife and fork in the correct hands. I know I
I
don't.
do.
Fucking, are you using a knife and fork? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Which hand
What do
they're
you mean
in?
with your hands? Exactly.
Like, honestly, by this point, I was more than ready to leave. So I thought, fuck it. And I said, no, this is what an animal eats like, and proceeded to put down my knife and fork and
Yes,
stick
ma'am.
my face into my pasta and eat it off the plate like a dog. I love it. She's like, I had a lot of
love
patience
her.
until I didn't.
Yep.
Well,
Fucking-
dinner ended pretty quickly. No desserts, and he paid and left while I was in the bathroom cleaning pasta off my face. The waitress thought it was
Worth it.
hilarious and told me I had dodged a massive bullet, as she had seen him there before on other dates, and that his dates usually left crying before the end of the meal.
Wow.
I'm sure
No.
it was a fun game he played with himself. Let's see how much shit these women will put up with before they snap. I'm sure
Ew.
he's still single.
Girl,
God.
I'm
Well, I
not
hope he
the
is.
one.
Oh, that my God. That's awesome. No,
a
this is
lot.
what an animal eats like. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
No, 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 no. Oh my God. If I didn't want to get my face filthy dirty, I would have.
I
You know what?
probably would
I
take
think it
my
would be-
hand.
hands.
I think it'd be
Hands.
worth it at that point. It's like, where
Yeah.
else am I
Yeah.
going? I'm not going anywhere else with you. I'm going home. So
Yeah.
No, I just don't like the feel of it. I don't want it on me.
No sauce.
All right. Ew, sauce on my face. Okay, so this story goes, this was about 15 years ago when I had just started dating after my divorce. I was using Yahoo Personals to date.
Oh no. Okay, question. Which is worse, do you think? Yahoo Personals or Facebook dating?
Or Craigslist.
Ooh.
Whoa, damn.
Fuck, Mary.
Craigslist is the worst.
I mean, I think Craigslist has to be the worst, but Yahoo Personals,
Yeah.
That's pretty ick.
you know, of these three, I think I would have to pick Facebook, and that is a tough
Woof.
choice.
Yeah.
That's a tough choice to make.
Yeah. Facebook.
Listen,
Facebook
if it was Fuck,
dating.
Marry, Kill, it'd be different though.
Facebook
Because
dating
I
makes
might
me
fuck Craigslist.
makes me
You
feel
know
like
that's weird.
I'm gonna get scammed. But
Yeah.
Yahoo Personals makes me feel like I'm gonna get datelined.
So does
Craigslist.
So does Craigslist.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Facebook's the safest of these three options, and it's saying something.
That's saying something.
That's saying something. Started talking to a guy a few years younger than me. I was 29 at the time, and he was probably 23 or so. He asked me out to dinner, but he wanted to meet at the CVS down the street first to make sure I wasn't a catfish. Can you just meet me at this?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now, I had a 4-wheeler wreck when I was a teenager, and it left a small scar near my mouth. Most people don't even notice it unless I point it out to them. This guy is looking at my face in a CVS parking lot and says, "What's wrong with your face?"
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
Also, I'm going to need you to be a little bit more specific. What do you mean?
Wow.
What are you
I'm
talking
assuming
about?
he means the
Which
scar
part?
that she's talking about.
No, I know that's what she would assume, but I would have to be like, look, you could mean anything by that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly. Because I was young and stupid, I go to dinner with him anyway. We go to a little Greek place he suggested. The food was okay. The date was actually okay, though. I quickly realized that he was very immature. Then
Well, he's
when the
22,
check came,
right?
yeah, 23. Yeah.
Same difference.
Exactly. Same thing. Then when the check came, he said he forgot his wallet. I ended up paying for the date. He called me several times afterward, wanting to see me again. I think I eventually told him to get lost.
Oh, God. I think, because we've been watching MILF Manor or whatever, like my tolerance or interest, which was never there anyways, really, to date a younger guy, is really just like, I just don't know how people do it. I don't know.
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think there are mature younger people that exist. Like, I think that they're out there. I think that they're rare, Like, I think...
I don't think that they're going to go on shows like this.
No,
I think they're
probably,
busy. I think they're doing things.
They're building
probably
stuff. Yeah, I mean, I sent you that picture of Anthony Kiedis from...
with a 19-year-old.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. 19
How old is he? Like 60?
61. He's older than my mother. And I'm not even my mother's oldest child.
I literally can't understand.
She looks like a kid in that picture.
Grandfather.
Yeah, he looks like a kid. She looks like a child in that picture. The way he's holding her, and she's wearing like
It's gross.
Converse. Like, and I love Converse.
Fuck, do they talk about it? Like, and then like, was he bring her around to his like friend group? Like, what are you?
Well, how old is Bill Belichick? Because I think he just debuted his like 23-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, fucking gross.
Bill Belichick has got literally could be old enough to be my grandpa. He's got to be in his 80s, right, or something.
What is wrong with these people?
Ugh. Well, I hope they're getting money.
I really
Whatever.
thought Anthony Kiedis was like married, had been for a long time. I hate everything about this. I hate it.
It changes, and I hate making these kinds of like judgments because I don't know them and I don't know the nature of their relationship. I don't know her. Maybe she is the most mature 19-year-old on the planet. Like, I don't
She's
know.
not.
Or maybe it's transactional and she's just like, I'm fine with this. I'm getting coin. Like,
maybe
whatever.
they have an
That's
agreement
fine.
and it's very like laid out. And so like whatever, but I can't help it. Like, my knee-jerk reaction is like, it changes the way I think about that person. Because I always thought Anthony Kiedis was really cool, like, and it
totally
changes
agree.
it a little bit about the way that I think about you,
Yeah. Yep.
Totally.
So,
kind of ruins them. And I hate that because you're right.
yeah,
I've always also felt the same way.
Like, ugh.
Well, this will definitely help you out. This is another guy. Things
Not Anthony Kiedis.
things on this date were actually going pretty well at first. Then we got to doing Truth or Dare. And somehow got to sharing and laughing over some of our embarrassing life experiences. Without thinking, I had made a reference to one of my worst, and then came the continuous prodding. Oh, come on, she said. How could it be? How bad could it be? I promise I won't judge. I told you, so it's not fair if you won't.
As a nosy person myself, I have gotten myself into trouble with this. Like, if people really don't want to share it, you got to learn to let it go. Because like I've definitely been like, no, I have to know now. You have to tell me. And it's like, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't want to know. I'll let you guys judge if you would have wanted to know this about somebody that you're on a date with. We'll circle back. Okay.
Okay.
So with honesty being the best policy, I caved and told her, vulnerably admitting to it all. You know how they say curiosity killed the cat? Well, in my case, it almost killed my dick. Let me explain. So,
what did he stick his dick into? What did he do?
Oh no.
So I was feeling frisky and decided to have a little solo playtime. I had just been cleaning out my childhood toy box. And going through all my old stuff to decide what to donate. But one toy in particular suddenly caught my eye. The entrance to the clubhouse looked almost perfect for the circumference of my cock to snugly fit in.
Wait. I've got a lot. There's a lot I'm processing right now.
Clubhouse?
What clubhouse?
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So fueled by a potent cocktail of curiosity, rampant hormones, and a distinct lack of post-nut clarity, my horny ass decided to grab the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse toy and give it a whirl as a makeshift sex toy. And tried to come inside because it's fun inside, just like Mickey Mouse says in the show.
No.
What?
No, don't do that to me.
What?
Don't do that to me. Don't make me associate these things.
No.
Ever. How dare this person do that to me?
Wait.
I have to ask you guys. I have to ask you. If you had a penis, do you?
I'd stick it in everything. I would.
Say, but the urge to stick it places is strong, right?
I know thyself, and I do. I would stick it in places.
Would you stick it in the clubhouse?
Probably. Yeah. How old am I?
Question.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Question. It's just a hole, so it's not like there's stuff inside.
Nothing's gripping it.
Scrape.
I feel like it hurt, right?
Yeah,
like it's
I don't remember. I actually want to pull up. Can one of you guys pull up Mickey Mouse Clubhouse so we can take a look at it?
On it.
We need a visual reference.
Because to be honest, like when you watch, as gross as it is, and as much of a joke as it was in the 90s, like a warm apple pie, you can almost understand.
Right.
You're like, oh, yeah.
Messy.
But like
watermelons, pumpkins, things of that nature. Makes sense. Jack-o'-lantern.
No, a pumpkin. I don't know. I guess you could customize a pumpkin. You could cut it to the right size.
Right, exactly. And it's like moist inside.
And you could cut yourself out of it if you needed to.
Ew.
Correct.
Don't say moist. I hate that.
What does it look
This
like,
is an
Cass?
upsetting episode. Oh my God.
Hold on. There's lots of options, so I have to find one that looks like it would be a phallic match.
I don't know. I have a hard time playing it because I do think, I probably like when we've talked in the past about like going through puberty as a girl and like hairbrushes.
Yes. Yeah. Anything
Right.
Yeah.
The right shape and size.
It happens. We're all freaks. Everyone's a freak.
This is the one that kind of keeps coming up. I don't
know where you would stick it.
That Tops place where Mickey's
in
at,
his
maybe?
foot. The foot.
Interesting.
Door.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So with a little of my mom's sunscreen as lotion, it was working pretty well. And I was having a great time. But little did I know.
Being a boy mom must be hard.
Oh my God, Cassie.
It must be hard. Like
yeah,
okay.
I couldn't be me. That's for sure. I mean, but you do the best you can, right? You got to know they're little freaks. So
well, and you got to hide your lotions from them because that was also in Prince Harry's memoir where he's like he used Princess Diana's like lotion for, and I'm like,
no, I don't love that.
Oh no,
yeah,
I didn't ever need to know that.
No, he put it out there.
But little did I know I had made a fatal mistake. Before I knew it, I was stuck. Like,
of course.
really stuck.
Yes.
I tried everything to get my dick out of that toy. I tried pouring oil on it. Nothing worked. Not
Question,
even my mom's sunscreen.
Can't you just wait?
It's that toy.
Oh, that looks right. That looks right. Can't you just wait until your dick gets soft?
I don't know.
Right?
It's got to be like, if it's tight enough, it must function as a cock ring, holding the blood in place and keeps it hard.
Oh,
I hate that.
I don't like it.
So I was freaking out, and then my dick started to turn as purple as Daisy Duck's everyday outfit.
Oh,
Fuck.
Long story short,
Fuck.
I had to call the fire department to come and rescue me.
can you imagine? Every single one of those firefighters went home to their family and was like, "You won't believe the day I've had."
No.
You show your purple dick to a bunch of firefighters. Like, also, couldn't you go to like, well, I guess maybe you wouldn't want to sit in an ER waiting room, I suppose.
Multiple people coming in, and you've got a swollen purple dick stuck in a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse toy.
What did they use to cut it up?
No, Jaws of Life.
One of those little mini spinning razor, like spinning saws, the little ones.
When they arrived, I had to explain the whole situation to them. Let's just say they didn't look too impressed. So then I just sat there with a sore dick and a newfound appreciation for the dangers of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse toys. Moral of the story, stick to the real sex toys.
Yeah. First of all, don't you pin this on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Right.
Right. How dare you?
Your depraved use of that toy had nothing to do with Mickey Mouse. You leave him out of this. Okay.
I'm surprised he's not going to sue them.
And what happened?
That's true emotional damage, truly.
What happened to the girl? She just walked right out. So the girl...
Okay, I have to be honest. She asked for that.
Yes.
First of all, she begged for it. Secondly, I wouldn't think that I don't know would actually make me like.
No, I would probably
be a hard pass.
Piss my pants.
I would laugh.
I would laugh so hard.
Absolutely.
I would think it was the funniest thing ever.
I mean,
if someone told me this and we would been playing Truth or Dare and they're like, okay, well, this is like,
you win. You win
laugh.
Truth or Dare. You win truth.
Yeah.
But I have to. I do one caveat to that though is like, how old was he when this happened? Because there's a big difference between being like 19, 20 or yesterday. Like I'm 35 and I did this yesterday. Like there's a big difference.
Oh no.
It is. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, I think there is a difference. I mean, it'd still be funny. It would be weirder. I think there'd be a lot of levels of weirdness if they were like, also, in their 30s or whatever.
There's another facet that we haven't even addressed, which is that like I have a sentimental attachment to my childhood toys that would not allow me to abuse them in such a way. I simply couldn't do it. Like
you never practice kissing on your teddy bear?
No, I didn't.
I would never. Well, I did.
On Ted? Absolutely fucking not.
But again, that's different because you did it when you were a kid, Christina. If you got out your teddy bear now...
That's weird. Okay. Weird. Yeah, you're exactly right.
That's a completely different situation. Yeah. Like, that's... I don't... I don't like that.
Yeah, gotta find someone like match your freak. Match your freak. I don't know. I've never been cleaning out my childhood toys while feeling horny either. It's giving very 16, 17-year-olds.
That's exactly right.
Which is a totally different situation.
It's like
your hormones are out of control.
His mom's, I mean, he's living at home. He's got his mom's sunscreen.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is giving teenage boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have walked out, I don't think.
No. Oh man. Well, you guys want to take 5?
I don't know if I'd have been able to look at him the same. But
sure. But I would have finished the date. Like,
You guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right.
And we're back. Christina.
Keegan.
Nope. Tell us your story. Oh, Keegan. That's right. Oh my God. Sorry. You're like, no, I don't. I won't tell you his story.
I will not.
She's
Keegan,
like,
tell us your story.
I just did. Yeah. Okay. All right. This one is going to upset you. So.
Oh.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah, just about. On the morning of July 15, 2018, 48-year-old Kimberly Dobbie took her 11-year-old twin boys, Cole and Dylan, out to breakfast at a local donut shop in Lewiston, Maine, before heading out to run some errands. Their first stop was a nearby laundromat. At 9:30 a.m. in broad daylight, surveillance camera footage would catch Kimberly talking on her cell phone outside at the laundromat while her kids played on the sidewalk a few feet away. Moments later, an elderly man can be seen calmly approaching Kimberly before taking out a knife and stabbing her in a frenzied attack as her children watched on.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Mm-hmm. So, alerted by her screams, there was a laundromat patron named Dennis Fisher who comes running out of the laundromat. He tackles this assailant to the ground, where he holds him until police arrive a few minutes later. Despite the early intervention, Kimberly sustained 11 stab wounds, several to her lungs and heart. And despite the best efforts of first responders, she died from her injuries.
Mm.
Oh, no.
The 77-year-old man who had attacked Kimberly was immediately taken into custody and identified as Albert Flick, a man who was well known to Kimberly and her sons and who had, until recently, been on friendly terms with the family.
Oh my God. Oof.
Huh.
Kimberly Dobbie was born on October 17th, 1969. I wasn't able to find a ton about her life, but according to her obituary, she graduated high school and college with a degree in early childhood education in Massachusetts before becoming a Head Start teacher and having her twin boys. And I don't know the circumstances that led her to relocate with her sons as a single mother to Lewiston, Maine, but I do know that Kimberly was going through a bit of a rough patch, and she and her kids were currently staying at a mission in a shelter while she was looking for permanent housing. She was said to be a devoted mother to her boys and spent a lot of time with them. She was especially fond of taking them to the local library where the boys could play on the computer and play with the toys that were provided free of charge by the library. Pause to shout out public libraries. They're amazing.
Fucking men, dude. I spent every weekend at Whetstone Public Library in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out. Everyone that worked there was so great, amazing. I think people that yell about socialism and everything like that, think about the library, motherfuckers, and how amazing the library is.
The library is one of the last places that you can go and just be free of charge. Not only do they have books, you can rent all kinds of things at the library. Like there's lots of it varies library to library, but some libraries you can rent appliances. You can rent toys. You can rent all kinds of things. You can rent a vacuum cleaner or a KitchenAid. Like there's all kinds of things that you can get from the public library if you need them. So shout out libraries. They're amazing. They're amazing
free
for
classes.
People.
Yeah. And also, with your library card, you can get free of charge the Libby app, and it streams.
Oh, I use the Libby app constantly. I don't pay for
Hoopla.
Audible anymore because I use Libby for all of my audiobook needs. So this is an advertisement from us to you for your local library.
Yes.
Free advertising.
I do love the library. And it's not the library's fault what happens next here. Okay.
Right.
But it was at the library that Kimberly met Albert Flick. So she knew him to be a kind, lonely old man. He enjoyed jigsaw puzzles and would often be at the library at the same time as Kimberly. So she would engage with him in small talk and humor him when he offered to take her boys out to lunch. She thought that, this is just like he's a 77-year-old man. She just thought this is like an older man. He's always at the library by himself. You know, he's offering to take her sons out, which I think is something that she didn't do very often. So it was like treat for both of them, I think was the way that she looked at that. She really thought he was harmless. But what she didn't know was that Albert had a long history of abusing and assaulting women. Decades earlier, in January of 1979, 3 weeks after Albert's wife, Sandra, served him with divorce papers, he would go on to stab her to death.
Jesus.
So Albert became abusive to Sandra not long after their marriage. And though she endured it for as long as she could, she eventually made a plan to end the relationship. And she knew that he was likely to get physical with her or not take it well when she told him that she was going to be leaving him. So she actually called the police ahead of time and requested that they be present when she served Albert with divorce papers. Also fearing that he would not leave the premises voluntarily, she requested that the officer escort Albert from the home after the papers were served. So all of this...
She did everything she could.
Yeah, all of that went off without a hitch. He got out, you know, and she was able to stay there. However, Albert returned to the home 3 weeks later under the pretense of needing to pick up some belongings. And according to Sandra's 12-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, Elise, Albert seemed calm. And so her mother let him in. But Elise did not like Albert, was afraid of Albert. So she retreated to another room because she didn't want him to know she was there. She's like, I don't want to deal with this man. So she went into another room. Once inside, Albert produced a knife and began stabbing Sandra repeatedly while telling her how much he loved her. Elise watched the whole thing through a crack in the door while her mother screamed her name.
Oh my God.
12-year-old.
Oh my God.
Fearing for her life, Elise managed to escape the house without Albert noticing and ran to a neighbor's where she called the police. When the police arrived on the scene, Sandra had suffered 14 stab wounds, but was conscious and able to tell the officers that it was Albert who had attacked her before succumbing to her injuries.
Oh my goodness.
They found Albert in the house, standing in a stupor. His hands and clothes were covered in blood. So he was tried and found guilty of Sandra's murder. During the penalty phase, his family members were called as character witnesses. On the stand, they described him as a good man whose abhorrent actions were a result of an abusive childhood.
I'm
not
sorry.
Okay.
You know what?
That's not fucking okay.
One of the most terrifying parts of this story is like we all deal with things that are hard and hurtful and like people hurt us. And it's almost not understandable, but you almost like get it when something happens in the moment. Like you're like upset and lash out. But to sit on something for 3 weeks and then calmly act on it is so fucked up. Is so
diabolical.
Core in your being, you are a broken, awful person. If you can't deal with your emotions.
Yeah. And when we talk about the pasts of violent criminals, you know, like your story last week, Christina, when we talk about what they've gone through in their past, it's just for context. And I have no doubt that difficult childhoods, abuse, things like that play into who you become as an adult. But it is not an excuse to hurt other people.
Right. At some point in your life, you have to take control of your own destiny, and you either make a decision that allows you to utilize the things that have happened to you in your past as an excuse, or you can use them as a catalyst. And
well, and again,
just,
like I'm not like, yeah, because like, yes, maybe this impacted your impulse control. Maybe this impacted the way that you deal with things. You still have to deal with the consequences of the fact that you never went and got help for that and learned how to control that. You don't get to hurt other people without consequence. So to go on the stand and say, he's mainly, he stabbed her 14 times in front of her 12-year-old child, but he's mostly a good guy who just had a rough hand. Lots of people have rough hands and it's not fair. And I'm sorry, but like,
yeah, guess what? All of us have had a rough hand. I've never murdered anybody.
Yep.
He was sentenced to 30 years behind bars, but was released 9 years early on good behavior. Once out of prison for Sandra's murder, it wasn't long before Albert was back to abusing women. In 2007, he was arrested for punching a woman he was dating during an attack. And during this attack, he also stabbed her with a fork.
Oh my God.
3 years.
Why isn't he immediately back in jail for the 9 years that he got out early?
Right. Because, they pointed out in one of the articles I was reading, I think the Medium article I was reading was pointing out that he's not violent against men. He never has been. Like every violent act he commits is against women. So him behaving well in prison is not a surprise.
Right.
No.
He's a coward.
3 years later, he hit another woman with the butt of a knife before chasing her with a screwdriver. She managed to escape, mostly uninjured, and was able to go to the police. When police caught up with him, they found him attempting to hang himself. After a slap on the wrist, he was released and was back on the streets in no time. Later that same year, he was arrested for domestic abuse and criminal threatening with a deadly weapon. The charges stemmed from an incident in which he stabbed a woman with a steak knife. The judge in the case, while acknowledging that he had a history of assaulting women, he acknowledges that, felt that the defendant, who was at this time pushing 70, he was almost 70 years old, would eventually, quote, age out of his violent tendencies.
Really?
So we're not going to give him as harsh a sentence because he's old and he's not going to be, even though he loves hurting women, he's not going to be physically able to do it for much longer. So the district attorney, who was a woman, Catherine Tierney, disagreed. She argued that he never displayed remorse for his crimes and showed no indication of changing. So in her opinion, it was not going to improve just because he was getting older.
Yeah.
Clearly. As a result of this case, in which he, once again, he stabbed a woman with a steak knife. As if that's not bad enough, he stabbed a woman with a steak knife after having previously gone to prison for stabbing a woman to death. So those things should be taken into consideration during sentencing, right? So as a result of this case, he was sentenced to 8 years, but only served 4 before being released yet again in 2014, at which time he went right back to his old ways, allegedly stalking one of his former victims, cornering her in public and threatening her.
Oh,
his parole officer at this point, because this woman did go to, report him, and his parole officer did try to intervene, submitting a report that Albert was, quote, extremely violent towards women. And because of this, he was sentenced to an additional 2 years for violating his parole. After this release, Albert, who had now spent nearly a third of his life behind bars due to his violence against women, moved in with his nephew in Lewiston, Maine, and that is where he met Kimberly Dobbie. Though he was nearly 30 years her senior, he had a crush on Kimberly. He was instantly smitten with her. And again, she kind of took pity on him as this elderly, harmless, lonely old man. But it quickly became apparent to her that he was interested in more than friendship with her. And she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And their encounters would become more and more uncomfortable. Soon he began turning up around town wherever she and her sons were and following Kimberly around all day, quote, like a lost puppy, and inserting himself into every aspect of her and her children's lives, even turning up at the mission she was staying at for meals. So he would come there and like eat at the mission that she was staying at. Finally, Kimberly put her foot down. She told Albert that she was cutting off contact and that he needed to leave her alone moving forward. Around this time, Kimberly received good news. An apartment had been secured for her and her sons in Farmington, Maine, which was about an hour away from Lewiston. And she was really excited. You know, I'm going to have a new chapter of my life. And she began making plans to relocate as soon as possible. Albert, who did everything that he could to keep tabs on Kimberly, heard the news that she would be moving away and was reportedly livid about this, that she would be leaving. So 2 days before the attack on Kimberly, Albert purchased a paring knife that he would later use in the stabbing. And on July 15th, just 1 day before Kimberly and the boys were set to leave town. How sad is that? She's obviously had a really tough go of it. I don't know how you end up alone with two 11-year-old boys. Like, where's their father? You know, like in this situation, obviously she was doing everything she could to try and make a better life for herself and her kids. And she was on the precipice of it, which is just like an added level of tragedy.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
In this case. So just 1 day before she was set to leave town, he walked up to her outside of the laundromat and stabbed her without saying a single word as her kids looked on.
Monster. A true fucking monster.
Yeah. On July 17th, 2019, after deliberating for 40 minutes, a jury found Albert Flick guilty in the murder of Kimberly Dobbie. 3 weeks later, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. So unless he is again released early, which has been the pattern in his life, he will die in prison.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Jeez.
During sentencing, Elise Clement, who watched her mother Sandra get stabbed to death by Albert in 1979, said that the judge who set him free due to his advanced age years earlier should have to answer to Kimberly's twin boys.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep. And she said, quote, "I would like to see everyone involved in a line and stand there and tell her boys, explain to them how this man was on the streets and how it's okay, how the law made it all right for their mom to now be gone and for them to have witnessed it."
Yeah.
Because there were so many opportunities for the law to have intervened and prevented him from, he showed you who he was over and over and over. And now these boys, and I didn't make a note of it, but she also, because she watched her mom get stabbed to death.
Yeah. Right.
And she said, you know, like these boys, she was 12, these boys are 11. And she's like, they will spend their whole life wondering, could I have prevented it? Could I, if I had jumped out and done something, could I have stopped this, you know? And they have to live with that forever. It's horrible. An obituary notice memorialized Kimberly, stating, "People who knew Kim loved her for her kind and gentle spirit. She had a ready smile and a quick wit, and she befriended everyone she met. Kim loved the beach, and Christmas was her favorite season. Her twin sons were her greatest joy." So, yeah, I mean, this one really got me because there were so many opportunities. There's this thing where when are we going to learn to take violence against women seriously? It doesn't get better. And not only, he killed one woman. That should have been, look.
And then tried to kill multiple more.
Exactly. I mean, I believe in rehabilitation. I believe that is what prison's main purpose should be, is to rehabilitate people. However, he got out of prison on quote unquote good behavior and then proceeded to act badly. So once that happens, I'm sorry, it's all revoked. You have to go back in, and you have to go back in for a substantial amount of time, because you took away someone's life and then you proceeded to harass, threaten, assault multiple people after that. You've shown that you're not rehabilitated. You have
that's exactly right.
You don't get to be out here with everybody anymore.
No, but this
isn't a fluke.
You're exactly right in that it isn't taking seriously, like, violence against women. I mean, look at fucking what Diddy and Cassie and all of the allegations and everything like that. And it's still like, still out a free man, you know? It's like, you're allowed to do shit like that.
People bend over backwards to make excuses. Any post you see about Chris Brown, I guarantee you there will be men and women alike in the comments who say that happened so long ago, blah, 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 blah. I challenge any one of you to read that police report, the Rihanna police report, because it is one of the most harrowing. He was going to kill her. Like you can't change my mind on that. And not only that, it was not a one-time thing done by some young guy who was impulsive. And it's not that he was being provoked, as so many people like to say, that she was provoking him throughout that entire thing, because he went on to continue to do it to other people. So it wasn't like a one-time, one-off event. This is a person who has a history of hurting people. And it only, unless there is a real intervention and real rehabilitation, it is only going to escalate. That's also it.
And why does there have to be like 10, 20, 30 allegations before 100%. They start to take one is enough to know what kind of person that person is. It should be, but it's not. It's not taken seriously at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and I'll tell you what I took from this story, Keegan, is also I have a tendency to infantilize older people sometimes, you know, and not really to remember that they are still people, and if it's a man, that they are still capable of, you know, you just look at them and you're like, oh, it's pop, you know, like harmless, and you know.
Well, and you know, that's exactly right. And that they can be manipulative, right? And I have no doubt that he used his advanced age. He used the way that people did see him as this like kindly, gentle, lonely old man as a way to not only with the women that he was attacking, but also with the court system to say he's harmless. He's not like, yes, he did these things, but he's so old. Like, what could he really do?
Jesus. Yeah. Well, I think we know what he can really do.
Yeah.
He's proved what he could really do. I don't know why we have to see him prove it again.
He didn't get, I mean, I'm glad he got 25 years because I do think he will die in prison. But why he didn't get life after the second homicide with that kind of rap sheet is wild to me. Wild.
Yeah. Oof, man. So, what are you guys watching this week?
Well, I finally made it through all of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I have completed it. Everyone keeps telling me that I should start New York, but I think my brain might need like a little bit of a break for a second. I did also start House of the Dragon. So the new season of House of the Dragon. So
nice.
How was that wine?
You know, it was pretty good. So my friend Jill gave me, I think did I say this on mic last week? Can't remember. Or a couple weeks ago. But yeah, my friend Jill gave me a House of the Dragon wine, and I wasn't so sure at first. I opened it and I was like, I don't know. But it just needed to breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. Yeah.
It really did. Like, and I'm not like one of those wine people, but like in that way, like I'll drink barefoot. I don't care. But like it did need a little bit of time to air out. And then it was actually pretty good.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started watching a documentary on Apple about the Hollywood con queen.
Oh,
pardon.
Do you not know that story?
Yes.
No.
Oh my!
There's a podcast about it.
Oh, yeah. You know I love a grifter.
Wild.
It's on Apple.
Oh,
it's okay. This story is a banana sandwich. It is basically a whole bunch of different writers, photographers, actors, stuntmen.
Wait, I
going
did see
to
the podcast.
Jakarta.
Got it. I started that podcast and never finished it.
I did too.
I remember. Oh, right. I will watch the documentary though. That sounds
It's a three,
I might be into that
on Apple, and it's really, really good so far. So,
real question. How are we going to work this MILF Manor situation now that Cassie is in Germany? Are we going to have to like coordinate a time? Like, I'll watch it and then talk about it before we record. What are we going to do?
I have to watch it with you guys. There's no way I can do it.
We're never going to finish it then. We're going to be stuck
watch
mid-season.
it like this, where we can Skype and watch it at the same time.
That's true. Right. Yeah, we'll have to work out a time.
Coordinator.
I have to know if Darren and Kim end up together.
Me too. It's the only thing I'm cheering for.
I watched on Netflix The Hitman. Or just
it is so cute.
So good.
I love that movie.
Good. It's so good.
He is so attractive too.
Is that Guy Pearce? Who is that?
His name is Glenn Powell.
Oh, Glenn Powell. Okay.
Yeah. He's in the other movie that I keep telling you guys that you have to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in the other movie I keep telling you guys you have to watch, which I don't know. Have you guys seen that movie yet?
No. The one with Sydney
Sweeney. It's so fucking good.
Glenn Powell's almost too good looking. Like, I'm suspicious of it.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
He's so hot in Hitman.
He's too good looking.
Yeah.
If he's so funny though, anyone but you. If you guys don't watch it, it is so literally.
I gotta be honest,
twice,
I'm so uninterested in that movie. I know you've been recommending it.
I literally was too. I was like, this
was
is
it like
stupid.
a rom-com kind of thing?
It's very calm.
Okay.
Very hilarious. Girl, I mean, I was rolling laughing. I made Chris watch it and I watched it again and we were like crying laughing. It is so fucking funny. Okay. I'm not going to make you watch Bosch. I've already lost that battle.
You did try.
You guys will like this show or this movie. You might not like this. You'll like, I promise.
Okay. I believe you.
Well, until next time.
Oh, I was like, have we all gone?
I was really waiting.
Have we all gone? Yeah, I guess we have. Well, if you have something that we should watch, read, consume in any kind of way, if you just want to say hello, if you have that awful date story that you've been sitting on, please go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.